I think after all the 5 test matches, I guess virtually every England fan anyway wanted another 4 overs towards the end. Can you understand why they might be feeling a bit cheeky?
Yeah, of course you can. And you can also understand the other way, isn't it? Like, understand the rules and regs. And, unfortunately, the officials sometimes have to take the emotion out of the game, and they've got to do their job, like they've consistently well, to be fair to both sides. Of course, it is disappointing now sitting here on, of course, in the position we've got ourselves into. We felt, we could have taken those 20 off the last 4 overs, but I understand the umpire's decision. I understand why it happened, and you say if it's the 3rd day, no one will be moaning about it. If the ball's on the other foot, I suppose we would have been, probably asking the same question. So it is a shame for the amazing crowd we've had here that we weren't allowed to play to finish, but there are certain guidelines, and that's the way cricket's come.
You've now, I guess, done the ultimate in-test cricket captain side to the Ashes. I'm sure it's best feeling like that, but do you feel, more drained mentally, physically than you ever have at the end of the series?
Yeah, I think, even at the beginning of the series, you speak to a few guys about it, and, they give you advice, they will be mentally tough, and you're like, yeah. But until you go through it as a player and as a captain, you don't quite realise how intense it is, to be honest with you. So, look, it has been an intense time, but also a very proud time for me. We've had some real tough moments as a side, but the character we've shown throughout the series, when runs needed to be scored, they've been scored. When wickets need to be taken, they've been taken. I think that's a hallmark of a good side. That we're proving to be incredibly tough to beat. Even when we're 500, the opposition get 5 under the first innings. You can force our way back in the game. Yes, it took a long time, but we knew we had to score the runs to get ourselves back into the game. And I think that comes with a lot of experience and a lot of, a lot of class.
From your point of view, could I just ask, was it a kind of mixed emotions in the way at the end, feeling that you were close to victory, but look, at the end of the day, you won. You won the series 3-0.
Yeah, I guess so. Going into today, with all options possible, whichever way, Australia win, draw, and win for ourselves. So it was incredible day's cricket, but at the end of the day, if start the series, someone offers you 3-0, I'm sure we can take it. It's been a good series, and like I said, sort of left it beautifully poised, for a turn down under.
Do you feel that if you'd scored more quickly on that 3rd day instead of just going at 2 and over, that you would have put yourself in a better position to win the game and eventually come around?
No. Clearly, we don't feel that now. If we'd have scored at 5 and over, yes, we found ourselves in a better position. That's an obvious statement. But for us to get close to Australia, we had to make sure we made sure we had to get there. And by getting there, we had to play the cricket, which is tough cricket. They bowled very well on that 3rd day, and I think they should give. They stuck to their task very well and didn't give us anything to hit on a slow wicket, which I think everyone found it quite tough to score. So the statement you said, yeah, if we had scored quickly, scored at 4 or 5 and over, yeah, we would have done. But we knew the only way for us to get back into the game was to bat 4 or 5 sessions. Clearly, what happened on day 4 with the weather changed that, but we knew we had to bat for a very long period of time because the wicket was only going to get worse. So we had to bat a long period of time to get ourselves back in the game.
Alastair, how do you compare? It's kind of a similar question to what was asked earlier, but that feeling on the podium, lifting the urn, how does it feel when you're captain?
An incredible feeling, and one which unfortunately happened so quickly after such a long build-up in your own mind, where after obviously at Old Trafford, when we knew we definitely would be doing it to regain and to obviously Durham to actually win them. We knew you would at some stage be picking up the urn no matter what the result here. So it is what dreams are made of, and unfortunately it all happened a lot quicker than I would have liked it. And I tried to take my time and probably pulled a very ugly face when I picked it up. I don't dare look at it.
Ian, you've won the Ashes quite a few times now. How does this one compare, really, given what you've done in the series, and you're sort of sitting here now as man of the series? It's best one yet?
Well, I guess on an individual note, yes. any time to win the Ashes, I think they rank, you know, all right up the top. Obviously, the one, you know, away from home, I think was always going to be probably number one for me. But on an individual note, to have contributed in this series, you know, scoring 300s, it will be a special one personally. But again, you can score hundreds, and if you don't win Test matches or win a series, they mean nothing. And you know, there's been some amazing individual performances or team performances as well through this series. So it's, like I said, the victory is the most important thing, and you know, so it will be a special one, I'm sure.
There's a lot of talk about the rights and wrongs of playing back-to-back Ashes, but you must be desperate to see these ballers again, are you?
You just play a game at a time. I think that's the important thing. You know, I know as a group, you know, we play our better cricket when that happens, and individually as well. Start getting carried away or look too far ahead, then you know, it bites you in the arse. So it's, I think it's, you know, we'll enjoy this victory. I think we've worked very hard for this over the last 5 games, and we'll enjoy the next few weeks.
Alastair, it almost seemed sort of a few years ago that England went into these series with so many bad memories that they were beaten before they began. With this Australian side now, and you're winning 3 in a row, do you feel like you hold a little bit of that over there?
Look, I don't know about that, honestly. What I do know is, if you go right back to the beginning of the series, a lot of questions were asked about this England team. Would we be able to handle the pressure about being favourites? Would we be able to live up to that expectation? And I think, you know, to be able to deliver under that, I think we can have a good beer tonight and enjoy what's some very special scenes which at the moment going in the dressing room. Obviously, all our family and friends are in there as well, and I quite like this to finish. I can go and join it because those moments are very special, and you know, you take away some of the stuff which goes along with cricket. You know, a lot of the media stuff, a lot of the media hype, and a lot of stuff which you would rather not do. But you get out the middle and you fight for your country, and you're very proud of that. And if you win, like we have done here, you know, you deserve the right to celebrate. And those dressing rooms are very special moments for me.
Alastair, what kind of reception are you expecting for your team in Australia?
I think pretty respectful. Last time I went there in 2010-11, I thought the atmosphere of the games was fantastic. You know, I thought the way the Australian public, especially, treated, of course, you're behind the home team. That's only natural. But I thought the way they, you know, treated us when we played well, they treated us with respect, and I think that's what I don't think I've any difference.
Have you guys sledged Australians more in this series than you have in the past?
No, I think it's been an interesting series in that way. It's maybe because it's so close, you forget about stuff in 2010, what happened in 2010, what happened in 2009, 2006, 2007 as well. So it's I think it's been played in the right spirit. It's been very hard cricket. It's been very tough cricket, and no side has been prepared to give an in.
And what have you made of this week? Australia sort of seemed to have been quite critical of your team in different ways, about Stewart and also the way you played the match. You know, you sort of reacted to that.
It's water on the duck's back to us in particular. That you can comment to what you want. The guys on the opposition can say what they want, and they're entitled to their opinion. What's important to me and what's important to this England side is how we go about things, and how we operate as a side, and how we perform. Certainly, we haven't performed as well as we liked all 5 games, of course, and Australia have played very well in certain periods. But what's important to us is how we play our cricket and how we concentrate on what we do, and it's worked in the past and it's going to hopefully work in the future as well.
So the feeling is that over the last 3 Test matches, Australia has closed what may be a perceived gap between the 2 teams. How much do you feel you have to improve before the return series?
Well, I think we're going to have to improve. We always look to improve. That's one of our mantras. I thought, you know, for us, you know, to win 3-0 is a big margin of victory. At the end of the day, that's when it's in black and white. That's what it is. We've won 3 Test matches, and this summer we've won 5 out of 7. So we can be very proud of that as a side. Of course, in Australian conditions where, you know, Australian Cup players will feel more comfortable, it's going to be hard. That's why it's such a hard place to go and win Test cricket. But I know this side is capable of doing it if we play well.
So you've obviously won the big moments of the series, and you're winning another big moment this evening. So, you know, it could have been 4-0, but do you feel that that's a fair reflection? Do you feel that it's just be a case of the growth experience maybe of your team getting through those tough moments?
Yeah, I think you earn the right, don't you, as players to be able to do that. You look at the side we have at the moment. You're right. There's a lot of experience there and a lot of knowledge that they're world class and they will deliver when it matters. And that's what winning Test matches is. When you look at sides on paper and you look at sides when you're playing, there's not too much between many sides because that's what is international cricket. There are some very good players on both sides. But it's nice knowing, looking at our side that we've been there, we've gone through a lot of tough times, also some good times, and we know when to draw on it when we need it.
In terms of turning it on for the chase today, was it always a plan to go for it? Was it just a case of a few boundaries came early and thought, let's have a crack?
No, it was a case of going. Clearly, when you're chasing, I don't know what we started off, 44 overs to get 200 or that's my maths now with a couple of beers, it's a little bit, it's around 5 and over, isn't it? But you know that you don't win it in the first 10 overs, you win it later on in the game. And the only way that you can put yourself under pressure is by losing early wickets. So clearly you've got to have the intent right, but you've got to earn the right to do it. And obviously we tried to set a platform. Kev played a fantastic little knock, 60 or 40 odd balls to get us going in that sense. But you had to lay a platform to do it, and then there'd only be one winner at the end.
I was going to ask you that as well, actually, but I'll just add to it. Was it a fun day? Because for everyone in the stands, I think that was just so much fun after 3 quite dreary days before it.
It's a little bit stressful as well. I think for a few of us. I think it was a good day, a good effort for Test cricket, and I think Australia should be, credited a little bit for the way they obviously set the game up. But at the beginning of the day, we knew we had to make it as difficult as we could for Australia to push home to what they wanted to try and do. We knew they were trying to push for the win, and the harder we made it, the easier it would have been for us to win, and it almost proved.
Over this series, you've had 5 pitches, all of a certain type, and probably, I suppose, deemed by you guys as the sort that give you the best chance to win. Do you expect when you go to Australia that there'll be 5 services prepared that will give Australia the best chance to win, or do you expect contrasting services?
A lot of English conditions are attributed to what the weather is about at the time. We all know that. When it's cloudy and a bit rainy, it nips around. If it's dry and sunny, it spins. A lot of that's down to the weather in England. Of course, home advantage gives you that chance to try as much as you can to push the things in your favour. That's why it's Test cricket. That's why it's home advantage. And one of the beauties of Test cricket is you have to test yourself in different conditions. So when we get to Australia, we'll be pretty much similar to, I imagine, to 2010-11. They'll be those pitches which they will try and suit them as well. But we've got some good memories of what happened there last time, and a lot of the similar players there.